Alright, this is the solutions for the back part of the proof congruence using transformations assignment. So what you need to do is you're given a beginning figure and then an ending figure, and you need to figure out what series of transformations, rigid transformations, that carry one figure onto the other. Namely, from this starting figure to this ending one. So, something I realized automatically on the right side I have C over A, and then on the left side here I have C over A. So I'm not going to be rotating things over or flipping it upward. We're going to keep the what's on top level throughout this. So I can reflect over a vertical line, or I can do a little bit of shifting. I need to do a flip because I see that B double prime's on the right side. So really, if I reflect over the y-axis, I'd get things on the other side, or I can reflect over this particular line, which is actually going to be great because that's what I want. B is 4 to the left, and then B double prime is 4 to the right. So if I do that, I'm going to get B here, B right where C is, C where B is, and then A is going to flip right over to B right there. And so that'd be a good intermediate step to have, because now it's all lined up and I just need to translate it upwards. So this particular line right here is the line x equals x equals -1, so I'm going to reflect over that. X equals -1. And then the next part, once I have that, I just need to translate it up. It's looking like 1, 2, 3 spots. So that'll be translate up 3 units. So yeah, this is really just like a little puzzle. You're trying to figure out what sequence of transformations is going to get you there. On 2, I noticed that here I have C, B, and then that's on the side, but on my resulting one, C, B are horizontal from each other. So if you have them starting out vertical from each other and horizontally from each other, you have to do a rotation. And that's going to be a 90-degree rotation, so let's put that down just right to start. Rotate 90 degrees, and this one, in this case, is going to be clockwise. And once you do that, you're actually going to have things in the right orientation, and then you just finish out with a translation. And we just have to figure out what that is. And as soon as we figure that out, we can get the rest of this. So if I were to rotate this figure 90 degrees right now, I'm just going to look at C and B. I notice that A is probably going to go down below my graph before I can see anything, but we don't have to worry about that one. Really, if we just take C, do the rotation, and then move it right there, we'll be good to go. So right now C is at -3, 2. If you do -3, 2, and you rotate 90 degrees clockwise, you're going to have to change the order to -3, and you have to change the sign on your second one, so it's going to be at 2, 3, which is right there. And now that's where C prime would be. We have to move it up 1, 2, 3, 4, and we'd get the end result. So we need to translate up 4. That should be a 4 units. Okay, moving on to 3. I noticed that I have C above A here, and here C is below A, so I could go for a reflection and then a translation, or I could go for a rotation and then a translation to get it to the right spot. Because if you can flip it upside down, things will be in the right orientation. And we just want to get 2 different transformations, so that actually sounds like a really good idea. Let's just reflect right over the x-axis. And if we do that, we're going to get A, B, and then, oh, that's a little bit too, not, okay, reflect A and B over, C would be right there. Okay, connect that up. So that's the intermediate step, and we'd have to move things up 1, and then right 2, So we'd have to do translate up 1 unit, right 2 units. So there's that one. Moving on to 4. This one is going to be a series of 3 transformations, and that kind of makes sense because right now we have C over A. Here, let's kind of think through this. If I were to rotate this right now, it would put it closer to that position, but B would be on bottom, and so we'd have to get B on top somehow. And so you would have to reflect it at that point. So I'm going to start with the reflection and then do a rotation, because if I can get B over here, which is going to happen if I were to reflect over this y-axis, the only thing that changes is B goes the other side. And then if I then rotate, I can just rotate and then do a translation to get to the right spot. So actually I'm gonna just start with that. Reflect over the y-axis gives you this figure. And then I'm going to rotate 90 degrees to get that. Instead of C over A, I want C to the right of A. That's going to be a quarter turn. That's going to be 90 degrees clockwise. And if I do that, C is going to be right there. B is going to be back in its old position. A hasn't even moved yet. Now I have the right setup. So C double prime would be. And now I just need to go down to get to my new spot. So translate down 2 units. I get this sequence here. And really there's like infinitely many sequences, but you can pick your own. I just like this one. I made it a little bit clean to get it transformed there. On 5, we also need to do a series of 3 transformations. It's something like these shapes are like already look exactly the same, but the vertices are not in the same spot. Notice how we have C, B, and then this one's B, C. So I have to do some thing that lets it flip over. And something that would actually let you do that, if you were to reflect over this line, you get B and then A. Get that. And then if you were to reflect over this line again, oh, that's not what I want. Just kidding. Hold on. If I were to reflect it over, and then I could somehow turn this a quarter turn, I could then have the right orientation. And so that's typically like the difficult part of this, is getting the right orientation. So instead of reflecting over this line here, let's instead reflect it over, let's reflect over this line. If you do that, you're going to get C, A, B. And now if I do a quarter turn, which is actually going to be really easy, because we have something already on the origin, just do a quarter turn that away, you'll get C here now, and then A. And now I have the right orientation. So this is prime, 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 double prime, double prime. And now this figure, if I just translate it over that direction, I'd get the same end result. So let me just kind of delineate these steps here. I'm going to reflect over the line first. So I'm going to reflect over, that's the line y equals -2. And then I'm going to do a rotation, a 90-degree rotation. Rotate 90 degrees clockwise. That's like a clock. And then my last step is doing a translation. I need to go right 1, 2, 3, 4, and then down 1. So translate right 4, down 1. that'll land me right there. And then our last one here, 3 transformations again. So on this last one, it's looking like if I were to rotate this right now, it would not be the right orientation because C would be up top, and over here C's down below. And so if I were to actually first do a reflection and then a rotation, I'd get myself to the right location. And actually, I can do this in less than 3. Actually, no, less than. So, whoops. Let's start with that. Let's just reflect. I don't know. Let's reflect over this line, just to get it closer over here. So when we do the rotation, it'll be a little bit easier. So if I reflect over that line there, I'm going to get A prime there. C prime is going to be right here on the axis. So this is going to be C prime. And then B prime, whoops, B prime is going to be right above that. So that's that middle figure. And then if I do a 90-degree rotation to the right, oh, here, let me write down that step. So that's reflect over x equals that number there, which is -2. And then I'm going to do a 90-degree rotation, but this time it's also going to be clockwise. That's going to put these points down here. So that would be C double prime, B double prime. A would end up right here. Whoops, no, it wouldn't. A would end up right here, A prime. So if I were to connect that up, it's the same triangle as the ending one, but it's one to the right. So we have to finish with translate 1 unit left. And that would give me the end result. Ta-da! There's all the guessing game, trying to figure out what series of transformations are going to get you there. And that's it.